Guys, what is happening? Happy Friday. It's 1:15. It's 1:15. We had some, not so much technical difficulties. We were chatting with some awesome people and time got away from us, but that's okay. So guys, it is week number 5 of our Foundations series. Week number 5 of our Foundation series, we've talked about the physical foundation. We've talked about the mental foundation. We've talked about the emotional. We've talked about all kinds of good stuff. We talked about relationships. Today, week 5, and we are talking about work. We're talking about work. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're gonna see if I can get this thing going again.
Here we go.
But we're talking about work, we're talking about school, and we're talking about all the good stuff and what it takes to have a strong foundation and how you can build a strong foundation at work. How do you become and build the foundation for having an incredible work relationship or whatever it is, relationship with work. So we're going to dive right in. We're diving right in, Coach Jesse. So
get into it, guys.
Number 1, if you want to have an incredible foundation at work, the first switch that you got to have with your mindset is, I want you viewing yourself as an investment. An investment. Now think about this. We hopefully are investing our own finances, right? Our own finances into a 401k or a Roth IRA or maybe just in the bank account, right? Whatever it is, okay? We might be playing the stock market. We might be doing all that stuff. But I want you to think of yourself as an investment, just like what you do with your money. Now follow me here. When you put money into a savings account or into a stock or into an IRA, whatever it is, you do this with the hopes of getting something in return, right? You do it because you want to get something back. And you're hoping to get maybe 10, 15, 20% back on your investment. Now, let's say you put your money in and you get nothing back. You get 0 back, Jesse. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to keep it in there? Or are you going to pull it out and put it somewhere else?
I'm probably going to pull it out, Coach.
You're going to pull it out. You're going to pull the money out and put it somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. Business is no different. Work is no different. Jesse, right here, he is one of my employees of Crucible, right? And it's awesome. Now, what most people think when a paycheck goes to Jesse, a lot of people think of that as an expense. No, that is not an expense. That is an investment, because I know that Jesse is going to bring and give more value than what is being put in. So what do I immediately want to do? I want to pour more in because it's a great investment, because I know I'm going to get a great return here, right? If there's not a return here, guess what? Sorry, Jesse, I'm going to find a place to where I can get a great return. So I want you to begin viewing yourself as that investment.
And I think a lot of it is too, like we think about, Super Bowl Sundays in a couple weekends, and there's guys who are getting paid to play a game, and if they throughout a season, if they don't have these certain stats or make these certain amount of plays, they're probably not going to get their contract that they want, or they'll get out of a job. It's, you know what I mean? When you start thinking about yourself as an investment, you start realizing, hey, I had this opportunity to make plays today. Well, whether it's out on a field or it's out in work, it's like, to me, I look at the whole day is a day of opportunities to make plays and stuff that stat sheet. You know what I mean? And when you look at yourself as that investment, you're just like, well, how can I perform? How can I make sure I'm making good on that investment, or my boss feels as he's making good on that investment? So.
Absolutely. Well, you said it best, right? If you're an athlete and you're getting paid to win the game, to catch footballs, right? How can you then go catch more footballs? How can you make more great plays, right? You're looking to be an even better investment. An owner of a football team isn't going to pay a football player just because they're a football player. They're going to pay the one that performs the best, that is a best return on investment. And it does. It changes the way that you operate, the way that you go to work, the way that you approach work, if you view yourself as that investment, because you want to be the best investment and best return for the owner, for your boss, for the whatever, because they care about being a good investment as well. So if you have a manager above you, they want to look good, they want to be a good investment for their higher up, well, guess what? They're going to start investing and pouring into the people that are making them look good, right? And then that makes them look good, and you see it goes up and up and up. If you're going up and showing up just saying, hey, what can I take? Probably gonna good things aren't gonna happen for you, right? So the first thing I want you to do is view yourself as an investment. Here we go, perfect story. Jesse, the other day Jesse and I were talking about retirement. So we were talking about Roth IRAs, and we were playing with calculators and having all kinds of fun stuff about retirement, okay?
This is pretty cool.
Now, I said, Jesse, how much you putting in? He said, I'm putting in about this much. I said, okay, awesome, that's great. But imagine if you put this much in. Could you do that? He's like, yeah.
Instantly, guys.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, probably. And I showed him what the return would be on putting just a little bit more in. And it doubled the amount of a return. And he said, well, I got to do that. I have to do that. I have to do that. It wasn't the amount that he put in, right? It was the amount of return, right? It wasn't, oh, I can do that. No, it was the amount that he saw that was going to be returned on his small investment turned into a bigger return. And that's what we've got to turn you into. And if you can look at yourself as that and start taking action in that way, all of a sudden, good things are going to be happening at work for you. It's going to be a good foundation for you. Boom! Number one, view yourself as an investment. You're not an expense. You are an investment. Number two, I want you to create a feedback loop. Now, what is that? What is that? What is a feedback loop? That's exactly what it sounds like. I want you to get really good at receiving feedback. I want you not just dealing with it when it comes, I want you seeking feedback out. How can I do this better? How can I grow? Is there any area of opportunity that I can do more or do better, right? Find that mentor. Find that, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's somebody in your area of expertise, maybe you have a mastermind that you're part of, right? I'm part of different masterminds that I can go to them as business owners and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Is this good? Is this bad? Can I do this better? And it's not an emotional thing. It's just I want to get better thing. And if we can have a great foundation, again, we're talking foundations. If I can have a foundation built on receiving feedback and then taking action on that feedback, wherever it is that you're wanting to go, you can start getting there because you're receiving the necessary feedback to refine yourself in the areas that you need to be refined. Now, a lot of times, what we try to do is we just do what feels good. Do what feels good. We've got Allison, you've got a shirt that says, do what feels good, and she loves to wear that shirt because she knows it drives me crazy, right? She knows it. But our body's gonna lie to us. Our mind's gonna lie to us. It might feel good to do this in business or in life or whatever, but it's not always the right thing to do.
And a lot of times instant gratification feels good, right? It feels so daggone good, instant gratification. But it doesn't necessarily get you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily make you a great investment.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily put up those big plays that you need to put up, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, getting coached doesn't always feel good. You gotta slow down. You gotta put yourself in a certain state. You gotta change the direction of your plans. But it's what it takes to be the best. It's what it takes to be that investment. It's what it takes to do step one. In my opinion, step two is what it takes to do step one. You know, how can I know I'm being the investment that I need to be if I can't accept the feedback to let me know I need to be the investment I need to be in? And you know, somebody was telling me about something that they were doing. It's like, man, it's really humbling. I feel like I'm always learning. I said, brother, it's easier for me to say this as an outsider, but humble's actually a good thing, right? And he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm always learning. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. And it's true, because if you're learning and you're in that state, you're always growing, you're always finding ways to get better, and you're making sure you're that investment that you need to be.
That's what you got to be. Humble is a great foundation, right? And you have to be humble to be able to receive that feedback. And again, it's not emotional, it's just feedback. It's just data. It's just, hey, I can do this better. And I think we all want to do better. Sometimes the emotions get in the way because we don't want to be told that we like we're in this weird dichotomy where we want to be better, but we don't want to be told that we can be better, because then we feel bad that we're not better right now. We got to get over that. That's not a good foundation to build on, right?
It's always an uncomfortable spot to be when you have somebody, no matter who it is. It could be somebody you think the world of. It could be your own mother. Think about this. You guys all probably love your mom out there. You think she's the best human being in the world, but when mama says, you should do it this way, or why are you doing that way? You get all, and it's...
That's so true. So there we go. So build your foundation on getting a feedback loop. Find that mentor, find that boss, find that group, whoever it is, trusted, that can give you real, live, honest to goodness feedback. Real feedback, not just, hey, keep going, just telling you what you want to hear. No, find those people that are going to tell you the things that maybe you don't always want to hear. That's the hard part, right? So there we go. Number 2. And then number 3, to build a great foundation at work, I want you to set your guardrails. I want you to set your guardrails. Now, what do I mean by that? Why do I want you to do that? See, people are going to be at all different points on this spectrum of the guardrails, right? I want you to set the guardrails of the relationship you're going to have with work, okay? We've talked about this idea with be where your feet are and work-life balance and all of these things, right? I want you to set the guardrails and know, hey, I'm willing to work this many hours a week, or I'm willing to work weekends, or whatever it is, to be able to achieve this over here or this over here. So let's say I want to be able to see my family, I want to be able to be in good health, I want to be able to go on vacations, or whatever that is. Let's say you get offered a job, a new job, a promotion, and it comes with more benefits, and it comes with more pay, and you are just, you get more vacation time, and it is awesome. But it's going to require you to work weekends. It's going to require you to work holidays. It's going to require you to miss your kids' softball or soccer or rugby or whatever games, okay? You have to know where your guardrails are to say, I'm okay with missing all those things. I'm okay with missing holidays. I'm okay with that. Or, you know what? I'm not okay. I'm not willing to go hopping over that guardrail just to achieve all those things. Those things aren't as important to me. Again, we're talking foundations. We need to know what the foundation is and the guardrails we're not willing to do. Now, there's going to be some people that they're willing to miss all those things. Again, let's go to the elite of the elite, and you say like SEAL teams, like Navy SEALs. They have a saying that nothing comes before the team. Nothing comes before the mission. Nothing comes before the team. That means family, right? That means there's going to be times that they're missing births. That means they're going to be missing birthdays because they've got a mission, and nothing comes before that. I'm not saying that's wrong, but you're gonna, if that's not okay with you, if that's not an okay guardrail for you to jump over, we might need to think about that. We might have the same thing with CEOs of some of these major businesses. Like, they live, eat, breathe this stuff. They've got to pick up their phone every time it rings. If you're that guy, well, okay. We just have to know where we're at on that foundation.
And I think everybody's guardrails are different.
Yeah.
They're all unique. Everybody has a different lifestyle. Everybody has different things that fire them up, to get them out of bed in the morning. Everybody has different things that help them walk with a purpose. And if you're an extremely family-driven person, then your guardrails are going to be like, hey, when I get home and I'm with family, I'm where my feet are. I'm making sure I'm spending time with them. But the thing is, you can do both. It's just the big thing with the guardrails is, in my opinion, is being where your feet are.
Yeah. Don't let one sacrifice for the other.
Right? Something I'm trying to work on and is when something I've been trying to do this week actually is when I get home, whatever I didn't get done today, that's fine. We'll get after it tomorrow morning. We'll set the alarm, we'll get after it, we'll make sure we make time for it. But when I get home, I'm gonna do everything I can to be home. Maybe I just shut off, but if you don't have that time to set your guardrails, it's actually gonna, we talk about performance and things like that, it's gonna affect your ability to be that investment that you need to be. You gotta set your guardrails. It all goes back to number one. If you wanna make those plays and perform well and be that investment, you gotta make sure that you do set those guardrails, because if you're if you're going, people are coming to get a certain experience here at Crucible, and if Coach Ron and I are like, whoa, because they're not getting the Crucible experience. You know what I mean? So it's important.
So yeah, know those guardrails, know what's important to you. Again, this whole idea of the foundation. What is the foundation on which we're building? Know the guardrails you're not willing to jump over to go off on this other maybe shiny thing over here that might be great, but it's actually going to start eroding the foundation on which we're trying to build. So there we go, guys. So we're talking foundations. That's all we got today. For work, we're talking about being a great investment. View yourself as a great investment, number one. Number two, establish that feedback loop. Who is in your life that's going to give you real, honest to goodness feedback? And then number three, set your guardrails. Know what those guardrails are, those non-negotiables, so that way it makes it easier to make the decisions. We get the promotion, we get a new job, all those things, but we know the foundation and the guardrails on which we're trying to stay between to make sure that we're living the life that we want to live, and so that way we can have the success and the legacy and all those things that we want to achieve. But we got to stay in those guardrails. So, guys, we love you. We got one more week. We got one more week of the Foundations program, so be sure to join us next week on Crucible TV. And if you haven't seen the previous 4, they're all on YouTube. So be sure to go check it out on our YouTube channel, Crucible Performance out there on YouTube. So, guys, we love you. We hope you have an amazing day. And, hey, go out there, keep building that foundation. We love you guys. God bless y'all.
So much love.